Okay, so we start with the disclaimer. This session is for educational and self-reflective purpose only. It's not a substitute for medical or psychological treatment. While I'm an advanced level 3 internal family system practitioner with extensive experience in trauma-informed care, but I'm not a licensed psychotherapist. Please consult a licensed mental health professional for diagnosis, treatment, or therapeutic support if need be. Okay, with that, let's go. Well, let yourself just arrive exactly as you are. Just allow yourself to be here and gently bring your attention to your breath without trying to control it, just noticing it as it flows in and out of your body. Focus on your breath again and feel the support beneath you, the chair, the ground, the floor, holding you without effort. And now quietly bring your awareness inwards towards your heart space, middle of your chest, or wherever you feel emotions most clearly today. Without analyzing, without fixing, just notice. What does your body feel like today when you think of love? Not love as an idea, but love as it has lived in you, shaped you, touched you. And if any sensations arises, tightness, heaviness, warmth, numbness, tenderness, just notice it and allow it to be there. No story required. And now gently let yourself consider this. Some of the pain you carry did not begin with you. Some of it was learned, absorbed, carried quietly. People who were hurting themselves, from relationships that offered closeness but not safety. You may notice something inside soften as you hear this. Not everything I carry is mine. Let that land in your body. Not as an idea, but as a truth you feel slowly settling inside of you. Place one hand on your heart or belly area and quietly say inside, I'm here to understand what I carry, what was never mine to hold alone. No pressure to believe it. Just let those words move through you like a gentle wave. And if anything inside is tired or longing or aching to be free, you don't have to fix it, just notice it. You're already listening now, and that is enough. Take a slow, gentle breath in and even gentler breath out. And when you feel ready, let yourself return to the room, to this moment, to this shared space as we move forward into this area of your life together to observe with compassion. So it's wonderful to be here with you today. It's our 146th session together. Today we move towards a theme that lived very quietly inside many people who are trauma survivors, being wounded by love. Hurt not by strangers, but by a very relationship where we once hoped for safety, care, belonging. So many of us ended up carrying guilt, responsibility, or heartbreak that was never ours to carry. In this session, we'll start by gently exploring what happens when love leaves behind wounds, how they affect you, and what are the steps towards healing. The invitation is not to blame, but to bring clarity, kindness, and a little bit more space around what you have been carrying for a long time. And as always, you don't need to do anything or prepare anything. I'll guide you step by step as we move forward inside. And we'll follow it, if time permits, with a gentle sound healing. Just keep an object, a stone, crystal, or any object that you like near you for this session. And after the sound healing, we'll then open up space for your reflections and questions. So let's take a slow breath in and begin with your full presence. Some of our deepest wounds did not come from bad people. They come from wounded people. Very often the ones who hurt us most were the very ones we needed care from. Not because they were evil, but because they had their own pains spilled into the relationship. So a child absorbs what parents cannot carry. Right? A child doesn't analyze adults. A child absorbs them. When a parent is overwhelmed, addicted, angry, or emotionally absent, a child doesn't think something is wrong with my parents. The child thinks something is wrong with me. For example, a mother who is depressed and emotionally shut down, the child of that mother learns I must be quiet, helpful, understanding. Not because they are good, but because love feels fragile. And over time, that child becomes an adult who feels guilty for having needs at all. Love with condition leaves behind, creates hidden wounds. If love comes with condition, you had to become someone or something to deserve it. You had to become either good, useful, strong, invisible, perfect. And when a child doesn't feel safe being fully themselves, they become what is needed instead. For example, if there's a father who is explosive or unpredictable, the child learns, don't make noise, don't ask, don't disagree. So they grow up walking on emotional eggshells. And today that adult avoids conflict, even when they are mistreated. And when an adult cannot manage their lives, children take over emotionally. They become the listener, they become the adult, they become the fixer. The emotional adult is in the room now. For example, a child who comforts a drunk parent listens to adult's problem, feels responsible for calming the house. Today, that person feels exhausted in relationship without knowing why. They attract emotional chaos because it feels familiar. Now, survival patterns feel like personalities. Okay? These adaptations don't disappear. They settle into the nervous system. They feel like who I am. But they are really what you had to be. For example, you overgive. You fear being too much. You struggle with boundaries. You chase approvals. You fear abandonment. You numbed pain through substances, work, or food. You feel guilty without reason. These are not flaws. These are old survival maps. And it was never for you to carry. So here's the truth. Children do not ruin families. Wounded adults do. And children have to pay the emotional price. So if you struggle with shame, fear, mistrust, or longing, ask not what is wrong with me. Ask, what did I carry that was never mine to hold? So if love hurts, it doesn't mean that you are not lovable. It means that people you loved did not know how to love you back safely. And today is not about fixing the past, it's about freeing you from into the present. Now, how does wounds affect us in adult life? When we carry pain that was never ours, it doesn't disappear with time. It simply changes its form and follows us into the adulthood. So emotional pain without a clear cause. So many adults who were wounded early carry emotions that didn't fit their life today. So they have guilt when nothing is wrong. They have shame without reason. A sense of something is missing. For example, you could be doing well in life, but inside you feel defected or unlovable. And that feeling did not begin today. That feeling began a long time ago when you needed safety and learned instead to self yourself. You constantly feel responsible for everyone's happiness. Not because they ask you to, but because as a child you learned someone else's emotion was your job. And living on edge when life is calm, if your childhood emotion was unpredictable, your body learned that relaxing was dangerous. So today, when nothing is wrong, something inside still waits for disaster. For example, you can't settle inside happiness. You relax only to become anxious again. You feel unsafe during peace. You expect that bad news after good days. You scan the room emotionally. This is not weakness. This is body remembering a world where safety didn't last. And pain repeating itself in relationships. So pain seeks familiarity, not because you like suffering, but because the body is trying to solve what was never resolved. So people often choose emotionally unavailable partners, stay too long, forgive too much, struggle with boundaries, fear abandonment, fear closeness. For example, you attract someone who neglects you not because you enjoy it, but because your heart learned very early that love includes distance. And repetition is not failure or punishment. It's a psyche asking for healing. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Long held pain does not only live in memory, it lives in chronic tensions, fatigue, numbness, headaches, digestive issues, disconnection from the body. For example, you may say, I'm fine, but your body is exhausted because survival is heavy work and the body never learned how not to carry emotional history without support. Addiction is a pain looking for silence. So if you have battled addiction, hear this clearly. Addiction is not a character failure. It's an attempt to regulate unbearable feeling or pain. Examples can be alcohol to soften loneliness, food to fill emptiness, work to outrun pain, control to quieten the fear. Substances didn't create the pain, they tried to comfort it. And behind addiction is not weakness, there is grief, there's loneliness. So, what you call your issues were not your intelligence in survival. What you call brokenness was once courage in a child. And understanding this is not about blaming the past, it's about freeing your future. So, awareness is not end of healing. It's actually a doorway. When you finally see what happened clearly, you also begin to see it can be changed. Naming the wound is not weakness, it's power. Many of us were trained to minimize our pain. It wasn't that bad. Others had it worse. I should be over this. These are things we say. But healing does not begin with comparison. It begins with truth. Example, a child who was ignored emotionally learns to say it is fine, but inside lives a quiet emptiness. Healing begins the moment you say, what happened mattered, not because you want to blame, but because your nervous system finally hears you're allowed to know what hurt you as a child. Letting go of shame that was never yours. Children always assume if something is wrong, it must be me. So shame gets planted very early, and that shame grows quietly into adulthood. Examples, you feel not enough even when you succeed. You apologize too easily. You over explain. You fear rejection even in safe spaces. This is not because you're broken, it's because at some point your system learned to take responsibility of someone else's limits. Healing begins when you realize I was not too much. They had little to give. Shift from self blame to self compassion. Healing doesn't come from fixing yourself, it comes from learning to stop attacking what once protected you. So, the part of you that numbed with substances, the part of you that stayed in relationship too long, the part that learned to please, the part that learned to go silent. These were not failures, they were survival. And when you stop fighting yourself, something new becomes possible. Not self improvement, but self rescue. And you do not heal alone. Real healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when we feel emotionally safe again, seen, understood, not judged, not rushed. Example, think of difference between being alone with pain and being with someone who says, I believe you. You make sense. You're not broken. This is how the nervous system heals, not by force, but by connection. And today, you're not alone. So midlife is not too early. It's exactly right. Many people believe I should have healed earlier. This is classical, what I hear a lot. But the truth is, midlife is often when healing finally becomes possible. Look at me, I started when I was 55. Because you are now, you're what we call thick-skinned, which means you are wiser, less willing to live numb. Suffering has taught you questions. Pain has taught you courage. You're not late, you are actually ready. So awareness opens the chest, it opens your heart, and it allows to go into something deeper. Not more thinking, but more listening yourself. Not fixing, but meeting, seeing. So next part of our time together is about gently turning inwards. About that still holds pain. Not to judge it, but to finally stop carrying it alone. So I want you to invite you to ask yourself this quietly and honestly. When I listen inside, what grief, longing, or heaviness do I notice that has been living quietly inside me since a relation where once needed love, safety, or care and never fully received it? So let it surface without pressure. So before we begin, I invite you to place an object somewhere near you. It can be something simple, a stone, pen, a ring, a crystal. This object will represent the part of you that learned to carry what others couldn't carry, or to stay quiet, or to be strong when you are afraid, to stay loyal even when love hurts. There's no perfect object. Just choose what feels right and allow it to be next to you. And now allow your body to settle. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, your hands rest easily on the side. And let your breath slowly, slightly, not forcing, just notice as it goes in and out of your body. Do a scan. Go from top of your head up to your toes and look for sensations in your body. Start with your scalp, and all you're looking for is sensations. Not fixing anything, just observing. Go into your face, into your neck, shoulders, arms, fingers, into your chest area, into your upper back, to your lower back, to your belly area, into your pelvis area, your knees, your feet, and your toes. And go back into your breathing. And with every exhale, gently remind your body, I don't have to hold everything here. Now, very gently invite into your awareness a part of you that learned love felt like when love disappointed, love frightened, disappeared, or love expected too much, gave too little. Simply ask inside, is a part of me that was wounded by love here with me now? Notice what arises. It may come as a tightening, a heaviness, an image, a memory, a quiet emotional ache. It may show up in your chest, in your throat, in your belly. However it arrives, it's okay. Notice what you sense and where you sense is in your body, around your body. And you can softly remind yourself, this is part of me, not all of me. See if you can turn your attention towards this part of you, the sense you get in your body, not to analyze, not to fix, but just to be with it. Gently ask yourself, how do I feel toward this part of me right now? Tender, sad, protective, uncomfortable, numb. There's no wrong response. How do you feel towards it? Towards the sensation? And if there's another voice appears, judging, interfering, trying to do this right, just say softly, I see you too. I'll come back to you later. Please allow some space for me to continue to work with this wounded part. And return your attention to the wounded part. And see if you can say, I see you. I'm here now. And you don't have to go through this alone anymore. And notice if anything shifts in the body, in the sensation, even slightly. And now gently ask, I'm curious to know, what did you need that you did not receive? What were you hoping would happen that did not happen? Follow that up with asking other questions. What is your biggest fear for me? What are you afraid would happen if you did not protect me this way? The answers come in any form: images, sensations, feelings, memories. When something lands, say quietly, "Thank you for showing me." And ask another follow-up question. I'm curious to know, when was the first time you felt this way? How old am I, and what was going on? If a younger you shows up, just notice. No fixing, no explaining, just presence. Question is, when was the first time I felt this way? How old was I? And what was going on in my life at that time? Younger you shows up. Let that younger you know, I'm here now. And if anything tightens inside, just breathe and listen to what shows up with compassion. Bring your attention to the object that you put near you. And let this object represent this part of you, not to push it away, but to see it clearly. Pick up the object, put it in your hand, and rest your eyes on it. And if you'd like, you can give it a name, whatever comes naturally. Now notice this part exists, but it is not who you are. It has been carrying something, but it doesn't have to carry it alone anymore. While holding the object in your hand, gently say, "This is you. I see what you have held. I'm not abandoning you. I'm just not letting you carry everything by yourself forever." And notice how it feels. Notice how it feels to see this part with kindness instead of being inside its pain. Now gently ask this part, Do you still want to carry all of this? Or have you been afraid what happened if you would stop carrying this? Then ask, what would help you to feel safer now? What do you need from me today? Whatever arises or doesn't is okay. Listening itself is already healing. And now gently bring your awareness back to your breath, to your body, to this moment. Nothing has to change today, but something has been seen. And what is seen no longer needs to carry it alone. Come back, and if you want, you can take notes while we prepare for the sound healing. Okay, so we will start with the sound healing. Just a disclaimer again. If you are receiving chemotherapy or you had a recent head injury or brain surgery, you may be sensitive to sound. So just be aware you can lower the volume or leave. Okay, so what we are going to do is to do what is, if you have been here before, great. Otherwise, just to tell you, what we do is we'll use tuning forks or sound with a certain frequency to basically find and help to release whatever has been painful for you. And how we do it is we use this is a torus, so you in the middle, your the energy, the torus around you, and in the field on the left and the right side is where basically is your lifeline, timeline. So it starts at the edge with the time of your conception when you're conceived, and it goes inwards on the left side or right side into your present moment. So that's the timeline. So when you run a tuning fork into the timeline, it changes its frequency, and that's when you will, I will tell you what comes up, and then you will. So what you have to do whenever I go to, let's say, a certain age and bring up a certain emotion or something that happened, just see if it resonates with you, and then with the breath and with the tuning fork, release it. So the breathing is a little bit specific. So how you breathe is you take your breath in through your nose, like that, and then you breathe out from your mouth, so you release. Okay, and then at a certain time, in case there is a strong emotion, I will tell you something like, okay, release like, ha, and then you will release that. Okay, so how we do is we start with opening the center below the feet and to the top of the head. These are the two poles. Okay, so that opens the whole backbone to flow. That's what we start. And then I'll run a pendulum to look at which center, energy center, we have to work today based on collective group energy, whichever chakra or center we work with. And then basically we go from the edge to the middle, okay? And follow me. Here we go. So no video because I'll be moving, but you will hear me. Okay, here we go. So we will start at the below the feet, and then we'll go to the top of the head. And for the opening of the two extreme, we use 144 hertz tuning fork. There we go. So breath and then sometime release. So I'm below your feet now. Opening the channel from below the feet to the top of the head. Okay, take a breath. I'm going to ground you now. Okay, we go to the top of the head. And open the channel from top of the head to the feet. Take a breath. Okay, so you'll hear nothing because I'm running a pendulum to know which center or chakra we are going to work today. Okay, immediately. Root chakra. Okay, so we are going to work on the root center, what is called the first center, and left side. And this is about things that we want to be doing, unmet needs. So most of the time is on the left side, is about safety, and it's about having your needs not met, which is interesting with the subject of the session today. So I will start with the on the edge, and it's changing to 174 hertz now. So the same. I will start at the edge. Edge is where is the point of conception. Okay, and then we'll keep moving inwards. So it's about 6 feet from your first center, which is your below the hips. on the left side, mother side. So there's a lot of pressure coming into the head. Yeah, it's always saying the same thing. I feel, so the little one is the one who's coming in saying, I'm not loved to be here. And it's coming from father energy. So disconnected from love from father. That's how it feels. So take a breath. And you can say to that little one which is just being conceived something about love from you to that little one. Whatever comes up in your head. About being accepted, about being loved. Yeah, that feels lighter, clear. Okay, so now I'm in the pregnancy when you were in your mother's womb. Three months or even 2 months into pregnancy, very early. Something there. Again, the little one is questioning about presence. Am I loved? So again, take your time. Take the time to say something to that little one. So now I'm at the point of birth. There's always chaos coming into the world. See if you can send love to everybody around. The parents, the nurses, the doctor, whoever is around. Okay, that's good. So I'm moving inwards now. between 2 and 3-year-old, very young. Something is coming up there. Yeah, fear. Something is going on in the family surrounding that appears fearful, not safe. It's between 2 and 3-year-old. It can be the period as well. Which means it repeats. It's in the environment. So take a moment, I'm going to change the tuning fork to release. But stay with that. And whatever comes up, take a breath and release. Okay, changed. So it's a 15-year-old, 15, 16. It's going into the third center. The 16-year-old or 15-year-old is questioning who she is or he is. And is missing somebody supporting. It's alone, no backup, as if nobody's behind. Has to do it alone, whatever is the challenge that is going on. So take a breath. If you can, hold that young person and pass a message. Anything that you would say, that I see you, you're not alone. Okay, so about 35, 36. That age is good. Around that one. A lot of anxiety and fear. Same, not backed alone. Take a breath. Again, pass a message. You're not alone. I see you. Okay, here we go. so now I'm in your mother zone. So this is what your mother brought in from her from her stories of her growing up. So, and there's a lot of safety there, safety concern, feeling safe in the body. So if that makes sense, see if you can send love to your mom. Hold her in that space, knowing that she was unsafe when she was small. And she carried this through. And if there's something you've been holding on to, you can release it as well. Okay, so now we are on top of your root center. We are going to release whatever came up. Take a breath. Okay, so this process continues for next 48, 72 hours. Let's secure the body so I can continue to process. And put a cocoon of 528 hertz around your body. Come back to your breath now. Easy, natural, unforced. Just notice what is present in you now. Maybe you feel lighter. Maybe something still feels tender. Now gently bring to your mind the part of you that was hurt, where love should have been. The one that waited, the one that hoped, the one that learned to carry more than what was fair. And let that part hear these words slowly and sincerely. You are met today. You don't have to carry this alone anymore. I'm here with you now, not against you. And if it feels comfortable, place a hand on your heart or on your belly and let yourself receive the kindness you always deserved. Feel the steadiness beneath you, the ground supporting you. And now quietly offer yourself these truths. Some of what I carried was never mine. What belongs to me, I keep. What was too heavy, I release. I'm allowed to live lighter. So some of what I carried was never mine. What belongs to me I keep. What was too heavy I release. I'm allowed to live lighter. And let those words soften inside of you. And when you're ready, take one slow breath in and gentle breath out. And begin to return back into the room, to your body. Carrying this, simply knowing something old has loosened and something gentler has begun. Welcome back.